Caleb, I appreciate you coming back, dude. Like I told you a second ago, we almost hit it perfectly, 2 year anniversary for our first podcast. So it was great.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate first of all just catching up with you. Been following the whole journey the last couple of years, and then yeah, 2 years later, which is dope. Just catching up and talking more about life, dude.
Yeah, it's we don't talk all the time, but I'm always watching your shit. Like
Likewise.
I love your like positivity. I love the messages you share. I don't do a lot of like repeat guests, but I think you commented on one of my things or hit me with a DM and I was like, we need to catch up. Let's run it on a pod. This is fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Same. I'm not and I respect that about people too, where the type of people that you're not necessarily having to check in with all the time, but you're following each other's journey as you're elevating and then understanding that nothing's personal and that it just does this over time. You just keep like, catching up, meeting again, meeting each other where they're at. So it's awesome to follow your journey as well, man.
Yeah, everybody's on their own little path, and just because I try to tell my wife this, and not so much anymore because she's pretty in tune with it, but it's like just because somebody's going one way, I'm going the other way, does not mean that they're going the wrong way. They're just not going the way that I'm going. Obviously, you're going up, and so am I, which is fantastic. I feel like that's the only way to go is up, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, 1,000%, man. You got to meet people where they're at, and what I like is you as you start to kind of like you grow through life, get older, age, whatever the case is, but you have people that you meet along the journey that they're going their respective way and they're maybe building something and you're building something and then down the road maybe something hits, maybe nothing ever hits, but like it's just this cool when you reach your own like generation of people that are building their own thing that one becomes the CEO of the huge company, one becomes, the big actor, like whatever the case is, just having people that are growing and that are ambitious in your circle always ends up coming full circle one way or another if you're just a good person and you're putting good energy out in the world.
And it seems like you got a lot on your plate. I mean, obviously, I can only see what social media tells me.
Yeah.
But it seems like you guys are building something really fucking cool, and I definitely want to tap into it. I don't have any notes, dude. I really just want to chop it up about life with
Yeah.
you. I think these are the best ones. So I'm gonna kind of leave it up to you wherever you want to take it. If you want to dive into kind of what you're doing now and the trials and tribulations and wins and losses with that, and
Yeah.
then we can kind of just go from there.
Absolutely. I mean, so yeah, man, I appreciate that. We launched Passive, which is for lack of better words, I mean, like we're like multidisciplinary creatives. I don't love the word agency. I don't really consider it an agency. I feel like we're just people that like to grow shit. Like our the thing that we keep saying is like I like to do cool shit with cool people and I just like to grow and build shit. Like and essentially we launched it in October. Me and my Queen Nikki, and she's phenomenal because she's been high up in corporate for a long time. She's been doing that. She's led huge events. She's just done a lot through a corporate company and very high up in that regard. And then I've been in the startup world my whole, professional career has been like very startup-y, from the ground up type shit. So it's really cool to kind of have these two different perspectives that we can meet in the middle where she just has such a great eye and aesthetic for like design and feng shui and just kind of efficiency, and there's just like this really cool clash of complementary things where I bring just kind of a lot of creative chaos and starting and some speed to it. And she brings like the calmness and the balance to it, where we kind of balance each other out to where I think we produce some great products. So we talked about that back in October, launched that, and then it's been fantastic ever since. Went through a very kind of slow time in the winter, which makes sense. Like trying to launch something in the end of fall and winter is probably not the best. But it was really cool because we learned a lot throughout the process. We had some people working for us and then ended up scaling back to just us two. And we just learned a lot throughout the process and of just, first of all, betting on yourself. I mean, during the process, I mean, I was even applying to jobs. I applied to probably like 150 jobs because I didn't know, what was going to happen. And then God always delivers, bro. He was like, no, that's not your path. Okay, fine. I listen and I just go all in on passive. It's been really cool, man. We have some incredible clients. I've worked with some incredible people. Have done so many different things creatively. Just getting started with it. So it's been man, I feel very blessed.
Was it was there like a sign where it's like, hey, you need to go all in on this, or was there like a big client that you landed which was like, hey, we can kind of pay our bills. I can afford to do this now full time. Because I was in the same boat as you, man. Like a lot of people think that like this has always been what it is. Not the case. I was in the same boat. I applied to dozens and dozens and dozens of bullshit jobs that I had no interest in, hoping to land just one to get one
Yep.
interview.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very difficult to do. And then
Mm-hmm.
working like bullshit side security gigs and trying to do this on the side. And then all of a sudden it just kind of happened, right?
Yeah.
Like it just kind of happened. God really gave me a great opportunity and I've just followed that ever since. And then as soon as I put 1000% of my effort into it, not just 100, now it's just like there's no holding it back. What was it for you that kind of got you to be like, I don't need to apply for these jobs. We're really going for this thing.
Yeah, I think, well, it was funny because even dating back to, when I even, because Nikki's originally from Hawaii, so I had to go recruit her, and I think this seed's been planted for a long time. Background on me and Nikki, we met in college. I played football, she played soccer. We dated for a little bit. We broke up, went our own way for about 5 years, and then reconnected about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And I went out to Hawaii, and it was just like this. I had this message, like I have paintings of her, like during the time I had to like express to get her out here. And I just kept seeing like we're meant to do something together. Like, and I went out there and I went to Hawaii and I told her, I was like, listen, I don't know what to tell you, but like you're supposed to come help me complete this mission, build this kingdom. Like I don't know what I like. I'm here as a vessel, as an instrument to tell you that I need you to come here. And then once she moved down here, we were talking for a long time about like we need to do something together, and we were actually coming up with names for another client or potential project, and I landed on the word passive. And we were like, keep it passive. And she was like, I love that. And I was like, oh, we should give that to them. And she was like, no, we should keep that. That one's for us. So we kept it. The idea of the word passive is funny. I think a lot of people use it in such like a negative connotation, like don't be
Yeah.
so passive. And like the word passive really means to not be reactive to external stimuli. It doesn't mean to like not being passive doesn't mean don't take action. Being passive means don't be reactive to the things that are going on outside of you. You don't force things. You don't come out of character to force things. You let things happen. You surrender. You let it happen, but it still requires action. So I think that's why we like it. And Nikki very much embodies the idea of passive. I still have a lot to get to. I go through seasons where I'm a little bit more passive. Um, but I guess like we always knew we wanted to do something together, and then I did reach one day where what I was doing was just no longer like serving me. I was ready just to break off on my own and start our own thing. And Nikki really just kind of encouraged it because during that time when we were kind of starting it, you like you said, we were brainstorming what do we want to do with it, all this type of shit, and then
Which
I
is
was
the
trying to
hardest part of it all.
totally, yeah, because
Yeah.
you only learn by adding fuel to the fire, trial, trial and error. You try things. Okay, I don't like that about this. I like doing this stuff with these clients. You kind of just try to figure your shit out. Before we were even landing clients, I was very, how am I gonna bring stuff in? And thank God she held the fort down for a lot the first couple of months of launching it. And she just told me like, you make this work. And I was like, what more? That was all I needed to hear. I mean, like, I'm very blessed to
Financially? Are you referring
yeah,
to financially?
financially. Yeah,
Good for you.
financially. So like yeah, I very blessed to have first of all a partner like her in my life. And then second of all just to be able to take that on and be like, "Hey, you go make this work and get this started for us." And that was all I needed to hear. I was like, "All right, well fuck it." And then I stopped applying to jobs. I went all in on passive and I started just kind of cooking up and reaching out. And I did some good work like in the city of Austin prior, so I already had some connections that were kind of interested, but like we like to work tangibly. I'm not just going to come to people with nothing that is solidified. So we started to find out what we wanted to do. We pitched this to some clients, and then we started having some success, and then more started coming in. But as soon as I stopped focusing on like trying to land things or make money, and honestly like turning to scripture and just like really like strengthening my relationship with God and like focusing on that, like everything else just started to take care of itself. And that was just been a crazy last couple months with just faith based stuff that I was like, okay, like let me just surrender, let me just be internal during these months of winter, and it'll happen. And then it started to happen. Spring sprung, and clients started coming in, and so it's been an interesting ride. But Yeah, I guess a big moment, sure, of like taking a leap on yourself, but then a bunch of little moments along the way of right compounding a win, a lot, like I mean a loss, but like learning from different things, mistakes, how to show up. So it's been it's been an amazing journey. I feel blessed. I replaced the word working with just building because I don't even feel like I work anymore. Like oh just working grinding. I'm like no man, we're just building. Every day is building, and what I love is every day it's new. Like nothing is the same. Every day it's something new. It's a new project. It's a new creative vision. It's a new direction. It's just like it's beautiful all along like this one path that we have. So
Yeah, this is going to be a really good conversation. I'm excited. We haven't caught up in a while. Dude, the similarities between kind of your situation and my situation and even your relationship is pretty fucking wild.
mm,
I don't know Nikki. I just know like of her from your page and stuff.
yeah.
Um, but she has that corporate background, so does my wife, and that translates really, really well into building something new. As
Mm-hmm.
you've come to notice, your wife or your girl seems like a rock star, and so is my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing that I did jot down is, I asked you, she held it down financially. That is very transparent of you to say because that was the same fucking situation that we went through where I'm doing the exact same thing that you were applying for all these jobs, like I alluded to. And then Morgan was working two corporate jobs, like
Mm,
just grinding. And then finally she's like, I'll hold this down, build this thing,
mm-hmm.
and
I,
gave me the freedom to just be like, okay, I can do this. I don't have to freaking stay all day on LinkedIn applying to jobs that
mm,
I don't give a fuck about,
dude.
and just gave me the freedom to do that. And then now the roles are completely reversed, right? Like
Yep.
I'm holding it down. She's pregnant. It's all good.
Wow.
So good for you to like, I don't want to say like be man enough to say that, but like just being transparent and honest enough with yourself and obviously with the people that are listening. Because guys, you know how it is, man. That's like a pride
For
thing.
sure. A
It's a
thousand
fucking,
percent.
it's a
Well,
pride thing.
first
And
of
I,
all, congrats on being a father. I wanted to
oh,
put that
any
in
day,
there.
dude.
Yeah.
Any day. Appreciate you.
Yeah. But what was I mean, yeah, man enough, right? Quote. It's like because even during the time, like essentially what's going on during that time too is like energetically the roles are reversed. She's providing. So there is a lot of like interesting energetic dynamic that, like I have 1,000% confidence in myself that especially we as a team, but like beforehand that like it was gonna that I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna have everything I've ever wanted, but it's gonna be an untraditional path. It's gonna take some fucking work. It's gonna be creative. Like I've known this. When you have a partner that is aligned with the same vision, it's so much more powerful. But there still is with all the power comes the equal opposite reaction to things, right? Like there's a lot of I wouldn't say like I mean adversity, turbulence, but there's those moments where it's like okay, she's holding it down, so the energy's a little different, and it's hard as a man to be like I want to provide. I don't want her to fucking work a day in her life if she doesn't want to. You know what I mean? She's gonna always work. She loves like building and doing her shit, but in the sense of like letting her do what she wants to do, trying to create something. So when she gave me the green light, I feel like that was like, all right, cool. Then I have to make this fucking work. It almost gives me more. I do better when my back's against the wall, in a way. And so it's like you said, but dude, I was on LinkedIn for fucking hours and just like, oh, I could do
It's a
this. I would
waste
do
of
this. Like,
time,
dude,
dude.
yeah, totally a waste of time because you're like all this time that I was putting in trying to put energy towards finding a job, I could have already been started on passive, and then once you make the decision, it just rolls. But also, it does take those days, man. Like in testing the vision. I was reading some scripture the other day, and it was talking about the story of Moses, and it was like God took them through the desert for 40 days and 40 years to humble and test them. It's like because what's really in your heart, like, and I've been resonating with that recently because like that those first couple months were fucking tough, like, and also bringing it to her, like she's never been in a position like that, right? Where it's like she's like solely essentially like providing for us at the time and then also like working on the startup and like all this. So it was just so much new, also being in a new city, being together in a new place. Like, so it was just all this type of new things to where it finally settled in. And in the middle of winter, which I'm like so big on seasons, I'm so big on
Talked
seasons.
about this
So
last time.
totally, man, and you got to embrace all the seasons. But the idea of being man enough to talk about that, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a subject because you want people to think that you have it all figured out. You want people to think that you're rolling deep and all this type of shit. But the reality is, like, nah, man, we're building. And I have no doubt that it's going to get to the point that we know it's going to get to. But also, I'm enjoying the whole ride because I did that exercise. Like, all right, dude, you're a fucking millionaire. You're a billionaire. You have all the money in the world, dude. You have everything you've ever asked for, and I'm sitting with it, and I'm happy. And then I know a week later I'm gonna get right back to fucking work. Like it's never you never made it. I come to this point that I was like, you're never gonna arrive. There's no arrival. Like you're not gonna get anything external that fills you. That I'm like, oh, I finally have $1 billion in my fucking bank account. Like no, that's never. You're not gonna ever arrive to the point where it's just done. The work is every single fucking day, constantly with different things. It's work in the relationship. It's work with your relationship with God. It's work on passive. It's work on your work. Like it's every single day you're building in different aspects and in different seasons, different things are more prioritized. Different things get a little bit more energy, but you're always, it's a daily fucking commitment to trying to be the best version of yourself
Every day.
every
Every
day.
day. It doesn't end. It
Yeah.
doesn't end. And when you think that when it ends or you think that you made it, yeah, I think you die. And
Yeah.
I've said that on multiple occasions on this damn show. It's like I really truly think that that's when it's over for you.
Hmm.
As soon as you get comfortable, dude. I One thing that I admire about you is your mindset, where it's like you said a minute ago, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Mm.
Like that's already done. You know that.
Yeah.
Like deep
Yep.
down in your core, you already know that.
A
Because
thousand percent.
I think the same way, dude. I think the exact same way. That shit's already done.
Yeah.
As long as I just do my piece, and my piece is to just take care of all my fucking people, that shit's done.
The what I'm learning, I'm getting goosebumps, but the first part was like you have to sit in the feeling of it already being done. I read this. I have a great mentor. His name's Brady Hutchins, and he gave me a book. It's called The Power of Awareness, and it's a really interesting book because it mixes like Christianity faith with like the universe, with like the law of attraction and manifestation. But it's the most like boiled down version of manifestation I've ever. It's by Neville. Is it good? I don't remember his last name. He just goes by Neville, but he's a very big philosopher. Um, and it's a phenomenal book. And the biggest thing that you take from it is you have to have the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. Like you have to sit in the feeling of what it feels like to be a millionaire. What does it feel like? Because I'm very I definitely want to live a certain lifestyle. I want nice shit. I want a Bentley Continental. Like I know exactly what the fuck I want. Like I sit in there and I'm like fucking pretending to drive it and like you have to sit in that feeling of it already being done. I think that's just like that's the number one thing. When you said our job, I've come to the conclusion after just like going through these last couple, I guess like probably a year and a half, 2 years of like getting back into my relationship with God, is that my only job is to clean the vessel. Like my job is to make sure my vessel's clean. That's it. My one job is to make sure what I'm consuming is clean, whether it's eating, visually, energetically around me, my environment. Like I have to make sure that everything around me is clean, which keeps the vessel clean, which makes the connection and the expression that much cleaner and clearer. So that like that's it. I'm starting to realize like that's my one job. Like if I my days are significantly different when I'm not focused on the vessel part. When I'm focused on the external, it starts to get I start to try to grab the wheel too much. I'm starting to try to force. That's not when I gotta focus on this, and everything else starts to take care of itself. And sometimes and it's not always perfect. Like I didn't wake up and go to fucking jujitsu this morning, which I wish I would have, but I stayed up a little late last night. Like it's not always perfect, but you just kind of roll with it. You roll with it. Okay, like how do I fix this? How do I keep this clean? What's the next thing? And so yeah, man, it's just daily shit.
Yeah. You say keeping it clean. I like that. I do like that a lot. Internally,
Mm.
the most. Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Brady, he said he called it an internal shower, and I was like, that's a
Mm.
great cue for me because he's like, you're not gonna go weeks without fucking showering. He's like, but how much do you like not internally take a shower, whether it's breath work, whether it's journaling? For me, it's big. For me, it's just been scripture most of the time. Like I'm just reading, and I feel like I get into a meditative state when I'm reading, and it's like it's fucking crazy, man. Like I can't like I
I get
literally
that when
was
I'm
like
praying.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, that's a type of meditation, right? That's a type of manifestation. That's a type of communicating. Like it's all the same shit.
And how do I explain this? I feel like a lot of people would much rather focus on the external opposed to the internal, right? Like at face value, they look at Caleb with a shirt off, fucking diced up, six pack. Same with me, right? like I'm filling out this medium like nobody's business right
Nah,
now,
dude. Hey,
okay?
you look great, dude. You look that's what I slid up and comment. I'm like, dude, you look fucking awesome, bro. You're crushing it.
I appreciate it. I'm just fucking around, but
Yeah.
same to you. But it's
Yeah.
that's what people see. But like what the real work is inside
Hmm.
between your two ears, inside your heart. Like what's really going on in there? That's what I think gets overlooked, especially in the day and age of social media,
Mm.
and things of that. It's like, hey, that person might look like they're all put together, they look in great shape, but what's going on in their head? What's going on between the four doors at their house? That's the shit that I
Mm.
feel like people easily put off. It's like, fuck, I look good, I feel decent, but I really have no idea what the fuck's going on. You got a lot of
Totally.
work to do, man. You got a lot of work to
Totally.
do. And I don't have it all figured out. You damn sure nobody does. If
Hell
they tell you
no.
they do,
Yeah.
they're lying.
Yeah.
I
No
just
one
think
knows what
it
they're
gets
doing.
overlooked. That I think
Uh,
it gets overlooked, and that's why I do this podcast to have these types of conversations. You know?
1,000%, dude. Well, like, I heard a good thing with Huberman and I think it was Huberman and Jordan Peterson, I want to say. But he was just talking about like the cheap dopamine hits. And like the more that you avoid the cheap dopamine hits, and to me it's all the same bucket. Cheap dopamine hits is like the of the flesh things that they talk about in the Bible, which is also the external, right? External of the flesh, cheap dopamine. Like when you're focused on the external of the reactions, of the likes, of the comments, of the goals, of the cars, like that's of the flesh things that never fulfill. Where if you're just focused on producing art, which is why I love passive so much, like that's our approach. Like I'm not tripping on the numbers. The numbers are going to do what they're going to do because we're just creating authentic art that resonates with the brand, the client, whatever the case is. And we're here to produce art to make sure that the product or the person that we're working with gets the justice that it deserves through art, through authenticity, right? Like through our love for creative expression, not through anything else. Like that's and same thing like that Rick Rubin talks about. He's like, I don't give a fuck essentially what people think about the art. Like that's not my job. Like my job is to produce it and it's gonna do what it does. Like I can't control that. And so of the flesh things, I've really tried, and again, it's daily. Like we live in a physical realm, right? We live in like this world, so we're humans, we're gonna fail. So I mean it's a daily battle. Like it's spiritual warfare every single fucking day between here in the actual realm of reality. Like so it's a constant commitment, like you said, to yourself of going internal. And it's hard. It's not easy. Like some seasons are better than others, some days are easier than others. It's moment to fucking moment that you gotta like lock in and continue to I'm learning that we're gonna it's undeniable that we're gonna get taken off the path, right? Like we're human, it's human nature, it's embedded in us. It's whatever you want to relate it to the Bible, it's sin. All this shit. It's inevitable. But the goal is to get back on track as fast as you can. Like how do I get back on I'm gonna come off every once in a while. Maybe I'm great for 2 months, maybe I'm great for a day, but how do I just get back on track as fast as possible and start walking the path again?
Similar to your situation this morning, you missed jujitsu.
Fuck yeah, man.
Are you gonna let
Oh,
that ruin your fucking day? Nope.
no,
You're
can't.
gonna make up for it at some point. I'm sure. I know
Yeah,
you'll
I went to
get
the
something
gym.
in.
Yeah, I went to the gym, but it's like, and it is because like for me personally, like this was the battle I had this morning. We were up late, watching a show, which like we were enjoying our Sunday. I love this show. It's the morning show. It's like it kind of we don't we if like we get into a show, it's like I like to binge and then I don't watch TV for probably like fucking months, and then we find another good show, we binge it. And I like the business type shows and like just kind of like I think that you can pull inspiration from a lot of places and some certain seasons shows give me that. And so we were up late, we're fucking into it, and then I was like, man, I want to go in the morning because I have a day planned. But then we stayed up late, and then you wake up, and I'm like in my head like, fuck, like my body doesn't feel good, like, and you go through these things. There's I don't know sometimes when it's like actually smart to like rest or listen to my body or if I'm listening to the inner bitch because like that's always been something for me because I like 9 times out of 10 I'm getting up and I'm going but then I'm sitting there like fuck dude like is it worth it to go roll right now on 3 hours of fucking sleep when you're not feeling the best and then you set yourself up like so I understand that part of it too. But that's like what happened to me this morning. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna get a little bit more rest. I'll go to the gym. I'm hitting the noon class tomorrow, jujitsu anyway, so I'll be fine. Like there's a little bit of compromise. It's like that's the tough part about shit. Like I'm very like I don't want to compromise with myself. I want to be the best I can be. I want to stick to things, but I'm also like in fluidity with the seasons and like trying to be intuitive with my body. So it's tough. It's like this is a daily thing. Like, each day is different. So I don't know.
My dad told me, he's been telling me this over the past few years. He's been an entrepreneur for over 30 years, really successful guy. He's done well for himself, and I look up to him tremendously. And, he knows that I'm building my own thing as well. And he goes, kid, there's two advantages to being an entrepreneur. One of them, if you don't want to go to work that day, you don't got to call in, you just don't have to go. And then two, if you fuck up, nobody's going to yell at you. He goes, but those are the only two. Those are the only two advantages of being an entrepreneur, dude, because, it's nice not having somebody yell at you, but I'm more disappointed in myself than anybody could ever be if I fuck up.
Totally.
Right. And then two, I don't really take days off anyway. So it's like, what are the advantages? Right. So I thought that was kind of a good point. And I'm sure you've realized that as well, doing your own thing. I mean, shit, dude, we're doing a podcast at noon on a Monday, right? Like not a lot of people can do that. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally. Totally. I relate it to like dropping a ball. Like anytime I make like, if I react a certain way, I don't want to react instead of responding, if I'm not, if I'm feeling reactive, if I don't do the things I want to do. I was talking to my mentor Brady about that. He's like, dude, you don't struggle with motivation. Like I don't even buy into motivation. Like, I think we're both very disciplined people, and it's like, the work's going to get done regardless. Like you said, you're going to make up for it. And so I think I've had to meet myself with grace. I used to be way too hard on myself to where I'd burn myself out. I'm much more about sustainability now. Like I don't kill myself in the gym. I'm rolling 3 times a week, sometimes 4 if I can. Traveling a lot. So like whenever I can get lifts in, I get them in. I'm not like crazy about waking up early all the time because some nights I'm up until 1 in the morning making videos or being creative. So like I'm not gonna there's decisions that are made. Like some nights I'm up late. I'm like, I'm getting up tomorrow no matter what. I'm gonna be a little tired, but decisions made. Some nights I'm like, okay, we'll see how I feel in the morning. So it's been a little fluidity during this period of time, but I know at some point in the future, maybe when a kid comes into the picture or something else, there's gonna have to be a little bit more structure. So I'm kind of just allowing myself to have grace while still doing the things that I need to do that make me feel good, clean the vessel. Um, but yeah, man, it's whatever works for you too. Like some people are like getting up early is fucking dumb, but I do understand when you get up early, you beat the sun, you're like ahead of it, you're kind of, you know what I mean? But it doesn't always work out that way every single day. At least for me personally, I've never been good with hard schedules. Like I think maybe from after playing football, I was like, dude, fuck, like having to be somewhere at a specific time all the fucking time. So maybe there's a little bit of like contrarian thought behind that. Um, because yeah, the freedom, it's a beautiful thing, but it's a double-edged sword because it's on you. It's like you don't have to get that done, but like there's always a million things to fucking do. It's like, so
Oh yeah.
it's just I don't know, it's an interesting concept.
What it is, dude, is all you're doing is you're just picking your spots.
Mm.
That's what you're doing. You're picking your spots because you really don't have anything to prove to yourself by getting up at 5 and then going off of 3 hours of sleep. You've done that for
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
You've done that for years, and so have I. Right?
Mm.
Like, I don't need to go out and prove to myself that I can go run a fucking 50-mile race. I've done
Mm.
that.
Totally.
I don't need to log 200-mile months. I've done that. I'm
Mm.
just getting my fitness in. I'm maintaining my fitness. I'm trying to get a little
Mm.
bit bigger. I'm not killing myself, just like
Mm.
you. If I get up at 5 or if I get up at 6, it is what the fuck it is. I
Mm.
either get into the office at 9 or I get in at 10.
Yeah,
It is what it is. Like, but
totally.
it's all gonna get done. But I'm the same way. You're just picking your spots, man. Like
Mm.
you line up what's most important to you on that particular day.
Mm.
And it's like, dude,
Totally.
why rip it off of 4 hours when you can get an extra two? And now you're 6. Now you feel pretty decent.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I feel great today.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you got to work an hour later.
Yeah,
Instead of going home at 5, you go home at 6. Call it a day. Whatever. Just
totally.
picking your spots.
Picking your spots. Yeah, I had a receiver coach that was like, essentially, like, I don't give a fuck what you guys do. I'm about production. Like, if you produce, you do whatever the fuck you want in between Monday and Saturday game day. Like, whatever the fuck you do, you do. But if you don't produce, you don't play. But if you're producing, whatever the fuck you need to do to produce, I'm about like at least being a good person within that window, right? But like, yeah, man, if you're producing and it's working for you, then like whatever. And it's just funny how things change. Like, and you have to, what I'm realizing, like, I used to want to journal throughout the seasons, right? I used to want to be like, oh, what was I doing during this time? And then I came to realize that when I would do that, I would try to go back and like be like, oh, that's what I was doing when maybe that's not serving this season. Like you have to just kind of be present with the season and feel whatever comes up. That's part of keeping the vessel clean so that we can like be clear on what that is in that moment. Um, but like it's so much change. Like everything's constantly changing, especially the world right now, and especially honestly being in Austin is kind of a trip too. Like Austin, Texas, I feel like is like rapidly growing. Like there's a lot of tech coming out. Like it's also kind of a crazy energy field to be in, like living. I feel like there's always some new innovation coming out, some new like it's just constant change. So it's just kind of an interesting time to first of all be alive within this day and age of this digital tech and like space and world we're in. So yeah, man, it's just like every day when you gather new information, new downloads, you have changed. Like I have new information, so like I do believe in having certain anchors, like which jujitsu has like saved my life. Like having that, just at least if I go get some training in that week, like I'm pretty lenient with myself as far as like at least twice a week. If I can get 3 to 4, amazing. But like I need to train at least twice a week. Like if I get 2 in, like I'm fucking golden. We're doing good. And that's an anchor. Like, and it could be at the normal gym or if we're traveling, maybe we have to go fucking hit a gym while we're just try to find a way to keep that as consistent as possible and then build from there. Because I've learned that I've also have overcommitted over seasons of my life. Like I need to do this, and this, and then now I'm fucking burnt out. I'm spread too thin, and I'm like getting sick all the time. So, yeah, man, just fucking just like you said, picking your spots. It's a great way to put it. You're just picking your spots.
Yeah, one thing that I kind of just remembered, and this has been said throughout my life over the past 2 years since last time we spoke on here, is you said something that really resonated with me, and I've had a lot of people reach out based off of our first episodes in bringing up this quote that you mentioned was,
Mm.
if it's not a fuck yes, then it's just simply a no, or
Yeah.
something along the lines of that. Do you
Yep.
remember saying that?
Yeah, I totally remember saying that. That's something that I still, yeah, I mean, because the answer is probably there if you have to think about it, and that it gets more intricate when you start kind of higher level things, higher level problems. It's not as like black and white all the time. You have to have some type of. I was just talking to Nikki about this the other day. Like, I have a tendency to be very black and white. Like, I'll go that route and I'm like I'm doing this, but then my mind will change or my heart will change or I'll like I'm not fucking with that person, but maybe they come out and they apologize and they say the right things and it's like okay cool, like I'm gonna let that go and I'll be open to that. And so yeah, if it's
I
not
need
a
to get
fuck
better at
yes,
that.
it's fuck dude, it's hard, man. It's
I
like
need to get better at
I'm
that.
trying to be more Jesus like, man, and not judge and be a
Yeah,
little bit more leave like he says, if your enemy's
I'll
thirsty,
hold a
give him
grudge,
water.
Caleb.
Yeah, dude, me too, man.
I'll hold one, I'll snip them out, and then I won't. Then that's it, dog. Like that's
Well,
it.
well, especially if they're doing shit like you take notes, right? And you're like, that's what Nikki does. She
I
goes
keep score,
noted.
dude.
Yeah, yeah. And it's I think you kind of have to an extent. Um, but I'm saying like I would pick it and be like, oh fuck that, I'm not doing that. And then I'd be open. I'm like, okay, let me hear them out or let me do this thing. And I don't know if it's good nor bad. It's to each their own and whatever. But I'm just so it's not always black and white, which I've come to realize. But yeah, when it comes down to like boiling down to the decision, if it's not like a fuck yes, getting you excited, then like it's a no. And it goes back to even applying for those jobs. Like thank God, right? Like thank God none of that happened because like now every day is a fuck yes. It's not like I don't have to think twice about it. Like every day is a fuck yes. Um and the fuck yes doesn't mean it's gonna be easy. Like most of the time the fuck yes means you're gonna have to step through a bunch of shit, run through some fire and take a couple shots off the chest, but like at the end of the day, you love every part of it and you learn so much from those times, man. Like going through the fire, just we were watching the Martha Stewart documentary last night, which she was a gangster, man. She was a bad bitch. Like, still is. Like she like Martha Stewart built a fucking like empire, you know what I mean? And then to put her in prison, it was over 45. She's a billionaire. They're talking about $45,000 trying to find a way to bring this down, right? And we were talking how it's usually the one thing that you don't want to happen that you're avoiding when you're kind of and this is something that Robin Sharma talks a lot about. He's one of my favorite authors. But like when you're going to the top, when you start to grow, right? These videos that you're posting are starting to fucking go, right? Like what's going to start happening is the negative's going to start coming because when so many people, Nikki was talking about the opposite and equal reactions where if so many people love you, same are going to fucking hate you. There's no if you want to go do high level big ass things, there's going to be a lot of resistance, right? So like They bring her down, they put her in prison, she loses everything, and then she comes out and she completely rebrands herself from a freedom authenticity perspective, because you've already went through the worst thing that could have possibly happened. You lost everything. So when you come back on the other side of that fire, it's like this is like now you're just you. Like you've burnt all the bullshit, you've all the facades, all the smoke and mirrors, like you've come out the other side. And I've always found it inevitable that if you're chosen to do the thing, like it happens anyway. You get there. Like if you keep doing what you're supposed to do, you eventually get there through all that bad shit. Like you end up where you're supposed to end up. And it's just yeah, it's interesting. So, like the Martha Stewart documentary, man, if you haven't seen it, it's pretty interesting. To be that relevant for that long and build an empire and like do all these fucking things is just like it takes. There's two sides to it, man. You can't avoid the resistance. That's what makes it. You know.
Yeah. And I love that shit though. Like if I get people that are hating on my stuff, I'm like, dude, come on. Come
Yeah.
on. And I used to be the guy, and sometimes I still am. It just depends on how much time I have that day. Like Deion Sanders, right?
Yeah.
You're familiar.
Yeah.
I got time today, right? So it's
Yeah.
like every now and then I'll entertain that shit, but my wife will be like, "No, that's what they want. They want to get a reaction
Exactly.
out of you." So I'm like, "Fuck, you're right. Block them," and then that's it.
Yeah.
But like to me, I'm like, okay, I'm getting people's attention.
Totally.
That means that I'm doing the right shit.
Totally. And yeah, Nikki's big on that too, where she was just telling me like I used to get really when I hear people talking shit or whatever the case is, like it would get me a little out of character. I'd be like, what the fuck? Like I grew up on that fire. Like my dad was
Yeah.
very fiery. Like that was just like a trigger point. And I'm learning the word for me this year was temperance. Like I'm trying to just be more tempered. Like I want to be. There's this guy in the morning show. His name's Corey on the show. It's a great show, by the way. A sidebar of like what I'm loving about these shows, like the studio with Seth Rogen, the morning show with like Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell, all these people. I love when artists evolve. Like Seth Rogen has completely evolved. Like he was Pineapple Express making these raunchy comedies, knocked up, 40-year-old like all this type of shit, right? And then he comes out with Houseplant. He comes out with the studio, like very elevated vibes. Like even the way he dresses in the studio, he's much more like he's
I've
not
seen
sloppy.
clips.
Dude,
I've seen
so it's just
clips.
it's cool to see the artists evolve, and then now they're going into shows. It's like we can do this too. It's like so creatively, it's cool to see. But there's this guy in the morning show, his name's Corey Ellison in the show, but he's the CEO of the company, and the way he handles situations is almost like he handles it with like this smirky comedy when there's fire all around, but the way he just handles it like just tempered, you know. I really admire shit like that. So that's something I'm trying to do. But what Nikki helped me realize was like when people are talking in general, that's just energy. Like it's not good nor bad. It's just you're getting energy, you're getting noticed, you're getting attention, you're getting engagement. Like it's all coming in. It's all the same like actual vibration. It's attention, right? So it's up to us to transmute it and use it for whatever. Like you take energy and you turn it into whatever the fuck you're going to turn it into. And some people, if I'm reacting negatively to it, I'm letting it get me out of character. I'm going to make a decision based off that emotion. If I just take it in as energy and transmute it and create more shit, like then you're using it for good. So it was kind of a really cool perspective shift for me with all that.
Yeah, and don't take this the wrong way. It's actually a compliment. But like, people are gonna listen to this and they're gonna go on your page and they're gonna watch some of your videos and look at your
Mm-hmm.
pictures. It's not difficult to be like, "Man, fuck this. What's this guy's deal?" Like
For
he's just
sure.
he's outspoken a little bit. He's got a little bit of spunk about him. Seems like he's got a successful relationship with his girl. Looks like they're
Mm-hmm.
building something. Fuck this guy, man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like this guy. I get that too,
Mm-hmm.
but I like it. Like we both have spunk. Like
Yeah.
we don't care what it comes off as. We're just Caleb and Tyler. Like
Yeah.
you can take that, you can leave that, you can subscribe, you can not listen, you can block. I'm cool. However you want to go about it.
Totally.
Whatever you want to do with the information in front of you is whatever you want to do with it. But you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it or hear about it one way or the other. Now, if you choose to participate, go for it. If
Yeah.
not, I'm good.
Yeah, and most
And
times they get converted too. Like most of the time,
yeah,
what I used to always get was like, oh, I thought you were, no offense, I thought you were gonna be a douchebag, or I thought you were gonna
yeah,
be like just so
all the
different than I
time.
thought you were gonna be, and I'm like, hey
Is
man,
that
well
good or
like,
bad?
yeah, and I get it. You see the both, the tattoos, you see all these things,
Yeah,
you like the shirts off, like whatever the case is, and it's like to me, like that's just in those seasons, like that's my creative expression. Like this is my
Yes.
creative expression. This is like authenticity in that moment is like that's what's being created. That's just is what it is. If I'm feeling myself that day, like, I'm fucking doing that or I'm working out. And there's seasons where I'm not showing anything because I'm so deep in what we're doing that it's like, you know, it, but yeah, it's interesting. I used to really fear not when I was playing as much because I feel like when I was playing football, I kind of, you already went through all the bullshit anyway, so you're just like, fuck everybody, I'm just gonna keep. But then when I got into like the real world, I really had a people pleasing about me, like, and I've learned to carry. I'm finally learning how to carry over being a captain on the football team into running my business in the sense of like it is all the same shit. Like you didn't give a fuck about what anybody was thinking when you were the like, hey, bro, we're on the team. Like if you're not doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, then what the fuck are we doing? Get out of the way. Like we got shit to do. It was very black and white, and it's kind of the same thing in life and building. It's like you have to still have you can't care about what people are thinking. Like there's shit to get done, and there's a standard. And that's something that I've honestly struggled with until like Nikki coming into this whole thing, my life and being my partner is like standard. The standard isn't situational, and it doesn't matter what it is. I've never met anybody that does actually everything how they do anything like Nikki does, and it's like it's a very
Tap into that for more for me, please.
like
Elaborate.
I used to be like how I do anything is how I do everything, right? Especially when I was playing football. But when I look back, I wasn't showing up to class how I would show up on the football field. I wasn't showing up to my everyday life. Like nothing else mattered if it wasn't football related, but it's all directly correlated. If it's not football related, it's still fucking related because it's like the standard is the standard. I would take shortcuts. Like my room would be dirty. Like I would take shortcuts and other things in life where you don't think it directly correlates, but it does. And like Nikki, I remember like our first weekend, one of our first trips that we took together, we went to Joshua Tree after we rekindled and she was doing the dishes and I've always hated doing the dishes and she was folding clothes too and she was just like doing both at the same time and she's just so present and she's just like folding and doing the dishes and like loving every minute of it. She's like, I don't know why people think that it has to be a shitty time doing like you can make it's all perspective. You can have the best time in the world doing the dishes and folding clothes because if you're gonna do it then fucking do it right and put it away right and it takes less time actually if you just do shit right the first time then fucking throw in your clothes and then it creates it like just do shit right the first time. There's a standard. Like Nikki lives one fucking standard. And as a partner coming in, I had to like elevate to her. Like I
Check
had to
yourself.
elevate. Yeah. And I would get mad and I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, she's like, I'm holding, you say you want to be great. She's like, don't you like, you want to be great. I'm holding you to the standard that you said that you want to be held to. And I'm like, that's all I want. That's all you want out of a partner, right? Is to be held to a certain level of a standard. And it like it's taken and it triggers me. Like it would trigger me because I thought my ego was like, no, Kaleb works harder than everybody. It's like, yeah, well, not in this arena, bro. And you have more work to do in this one. Like, she would challenge me, like, I want you to cook something new every week on Monday. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't got time for that. Like, what do you mean? From scratch? Like, and then, months later, I'm able to cook shit. I've got a new skill. Like, I've learned to love it. It's like, so it's just this interesting thing of like, when you're taking care of the seemingly small things that don't seem to relate to your business or your body, like it all fucking matters and it comes out and is expressed one way or another. And I've just learned the more that we just do, like because I get lazy at night and not do my oil pulling or fucking fall asleep without brushing my teeth, like little shit like that you're like, oh, like that's not a big deal. But like, that's the little compound effect of small wins that you're doing what you're supposed to do over time that add up because you're either getting better or you're getting worse, right? There's nothing ever stays the same. It's always changing. So if I'm constantly keeping the same standard of everything in my life, everything elevates. But if I just focus on one thing, and there's priorities, but if I'm gonna do it, just do it right. Like it, or don't do it at all. That's her big thing. Like don't come in here and fucking half-ass this, and then whatever. So it's been a very big, which has directly related to business and just my life and elevating everything in general. How you show up and how you're dressing. Like I used to not consistently get haircuts because I'm like, oh, I don't want to fucking, do this. She's like, you feel so good when you get a haircut. Like, you literally feel like, why don't you just go weekly? Like, who the fuck? Like, if it makes you feel good, that's self care. That's like you preparing for your week. Like, What, like, why wouldn't you do that for yourself? So it's a lot of cool, just little things that, as if you have a good partner in your life or a good teammate or a good business partner or whatever the case is, like, I think it all goes hand in hand, having good people in your life, but very blessed in that regard because, relationships, I think, just expose your weaknesses and your holes. And I used to be like, I don't know, I used to just not want to face those things head on, but she's helped me just really dive deeper and actually truly make me better through holding me accountable. And it takes fucking, I fight back. And then I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, fucking just do it. Like, you know what I mean? Just fucking do it. So,
There's a lot there to unpack. Um, a lot that I can definitely relate to. You and I think we think pretty similar.
yeah.
And, when I met my wife and as our relationship has evolved, there's been moments and times where it's like she's also holding me to that standard. The standard is the standard. But, young and dumb Tyler's like, she just won't stop nagging. She's just bitching
Yeah.
at me. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, dude, she's checking you. Like, how are you going to show? Like, it's because she cares about you, dude. She knows
Mm-hmm.
what you're capable of doing.
Totally.
So, how do you get past something like that?
It's a good question. I think like, and there's constant triggers. Like even today, like even this morning, like last night, I'm like, oh, I'm going to jujitsu, and then I see her this morning, and she's like,
What
like,
happened, dog?
yeah, like, but she's like, you said you were going, like, and it's so true. It's funny because like you can easily go, well, I'm fucking busy or I'm tired. I feel like, well, it doesn't matter, Caleb. You said you told her, you spoke it that you were gonna fucking go. So you're not being impeccable with your word. Like, and as a man, right, the masculine, it's all about like your word, like holding the space and being true to your word. So how I get through that, I mean, it's funny. One of my clients is Luke Falk. He was my quarterback when I was at Washington State. He was up for the Heisman, had a great college career, had a cup of coffee in the NFL. COVID was a little bit of an interesting deal for him in the sense of like, which is why I think the NFL thing was cut a little short for him. But anyway, he's doing this stuff called mind strength training where he's going around to schools and colleges, and it's more for athletes and coaches, but it's all about mental strength stuff. He was really big on it. He was a very cerebral quarterback when he was playing. So it all makes sense. But one of his things is what, not how. And, and I use it, I try to use it as much as I can, even in my relationship, because it's like, what is Nikki saying to me, not how is she delivering it? That's the whole thing. It's like, he's like, because we played for Coach Mike Leach, who is known to be a crazy motherfucker, right? He would say some crazy shit, but he was like, you learn to use people as assets because you're starting to hear what they're saying instead of the emotion or bias attached to like even your own perspective. Because sometimes I already know how Nikki's gonna react, so I already have a defense up. I'm already getting defensive before if that like you're starting to play this game instead of just focusing on what's actually being said. She said, "Hey, you didn't go today. You said you were gonna go." Like, and that's all that's being said, but I'm already defensive, whatever the case is. So I guess how I work through it is trying to just really be aware of myself. Usually I have a reaction and then I come back and I'm like, hey, you're right. Like, what the fuck? I can't do that. And I'm trying to get better at just not even having that reaction in general, just sitting in it and making it it's on me. Like there's the great book too. It's like I think it's called Masculine the Relationship, but it's essentially like it all starts and ends with you as like the masculine. Like if you say you're gonna like you have to it starts and ends with you. It doesn't like you're the you're setting the temperature. Like you can't give in to anything else. Like you have to set it. You set the energy and you can't give in and react to first of all the thing that you created. So I think I just had to really be more open. I think over time, you're taught. I mean, me growing up. I mean, through my just the relationships that I saw, it was just more like women were a certain type of like I don't know. I've never seen or had an actual partner like that. And like you said, most men are like, oh, my naggy wife, or like, the traditional fucking like I want a relationship that I have now with Nikki that it's like we're partners and we're building something together. Like I love intertwining my business and personal life. Like we're building together. Like this is something that we're building that's gonna be generational. That's gonna be fucking like, yeah, it takes one. It was cool. I had a kid that I used to coach and work with and stuff, and his dad's a very well off and has built and vertically integrated an oil company. So he's doing well. But he came over and it was cool. It was a cool little realization where he was like, "Hey man, every time I see you, because he's seen me the last 5 years, he's like, it gets better, the shit gets nicer, like you're starting to, and he's like, hey man, it only takes one. It takes one in the family. It takes one to get it started." So how I get through it to answer your question long-windedly is like, what the fuck is the goal, right? Like, I want to be the best I can be, and like, and I try to look at it as she's also a vessel. God uses her daily in my life. Like, I asked for patience. Who else is he gonna use? He's gonna use her. Like, here's your
Oh,
patience, bro. Like, so I gotta remember what I asked for, and that's what kind of gets me through. And that what, not how, really helps. Like, as I fuck up usually in the moment, or like I get irritated, or I lose I respond instead of, or react instead of respond. And then I sit with it, I take some space, and I come back and I'm like, hey, you're right. Like, I'm fucking, that's on me. And we get better every fucking time. Like, and one of us maybe had a bad day or whatever the fucking case is. Like, we're humans. But in a perfect world, I'd love to just be able to hold the temperance all the time. Um, and that's like my main goal, I guess. Like, fucking holding the temperance, man. But yeah,
what was the book that you brought up? The masculine. What was
masculine
that?
in the relationship. It might be over here. Masculine in the relationship.
Um, it kind of, maybe I'm off by this, but it just kind of brought a thought to my head where I remember when Morgan and I first started dating years ago, I would always basically kind of put it in her court where it's like, yo, this whole thing is like dependent on how you show up because like I'm always good. So, based on how you show up is how this relationship goes. Now that I look back at it, that was a complete fucking cop out. It was almost narcissistic in a way,
A
where
thousand
it's like
percent.
where it's like, nah, dude, like this is on you. But that ego would get in the way, and then it's like, nah, she's bitching, she's nagging. She's like, no, she just wants more out of you, dude. Like she sees that in you.
Totally. And then what you would like normally do, or like most, I feel like most men, oh man, she's fucking crazy. And then you're gonna go to the next one and the same shit's gonna come up. The same shit. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's honestly just finding somebody that you're down to go through this shit with. Like, we have an unwavering commitment to each other. Like, it's unwavering. Like, we're if we're gonna do this, we're gonna fucking do it, and no matter what, we're committed. Like, that's it. Like, there's no fucking, we're committed. If we're gonna do this, let's fucking do this. So knowing that, you can work through, and something she said early on is like, I want to love the darkest parts of you, because I've always been a lot. Like, and that's something I've had to work on with my mentor of like, I've always felt like I was a lot, too much energy, too much this. I fucking yap a lot, like all this type of shit that was like, I felt like I had to hold back. Now I'm completely unfiltered with her. Like, she gets the most raw, vulnerable reactions, responses, thoughts, and she's incredible of how she takes it. Sometimes, yeah, because she responds a little, whatever the case is. But yeah, most of the time, it's on fucking me, man. Like, can't be like you said. I used to do the same shit, putting the ball in her court. So that was a really good cue, because yeah, how narcissistic, right? Like, which makes sense, because I think a lot of the time, like, I you know I love my father to death, and he's done a lot of work now to this point. But when I was growing up, that's kind of all that I saw, was like a certain type of relationship, or that women were the, hey man, don't ever get fucking married, don't fucking do it, don't get married. Women are fucking evil. Like, they're gonna, like, so it's like constant programming when I was a kid, and just how I would treat women until essentially this relationship, where it's like, oh no, we're a team. Like, you don't have to be selfish. You have a team, you have a partner, but at the end of the day, yeah, man, like, it's on you, and it's on you to be open and willing to take feedback, because I don't know, man, like, that's a hard thing to do, especially when it's from someone you love, right? Like, getting the feedback, she sees you for who you really are, man. Like, and so it's the most vulnerable, like, of even who you think you are. Like, isn't always who the fuck you are, how you're showing up. So it's like this constant battle of, who do I want to be? How am I actually showing up? And going and riding with the seasons, man. Like, it's interesting. And I had a really interesting the other day. It might be a little too much information, but we're good. But it was like, we thought that she could have potentially been pregnant like a couple weeks ago, probably now, and she's not. She was just late. But like, during that time period, I had like this weird acceptance come over me, and I don't know if you can relate, because you're actually going through a pregnancy, but like this weird acceptance of like finally kind of stepping in a little bit more into the masculine that I want to be, because I was like acceptant that, like, okay, pregnancy is gonna come with a lot of emotions, and like your job is to hold it the fuck down, like in this emotional capacity, right? And stepping into like, okay, now this would be a new role. And it was like, and even though that it didn't, she's not actually pregnant, I still kind of, I'm trying to keep that like energy as if it was true, because it felt more just like embodying who I wanted to be in those moments, if that makes sense.
It's not about you, dog.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't got shit to do with you. It ain't got shit to do with me. Expect like I'm living it, like you said. I mean, we're any day, and I caught myself over the past day or two. I've just been feeling like not good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think my body's. I posted about it this morning. My body's completely out of whack. My back, my pelvis. I gotta go get adjusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught myself. I was like, man, I think I'm getting sick. And I'm leaving today to come downtown. And she's like, I hope you feel better. And I was like, fuck, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna be fine. Like this is all
Mm-hmm.
about you. This is all about you. Like we got way bigger fish to fry than Tyler's pelvis being out of whack, right? Like, as long as your pelvic floor is good, that's what fucking matters here. But it's not about you, dude. It's not. It ain't
Yeah.
about me either. It's all about them. Like you referred to Nikki as your queen, and that's
Yep.
how it should be. That's how it should
I
fucking be.
agree. And I think as you get older, it's funny because as I've gotten older as a man, I've had more empathy for men, for parents, for my father, because it's true, man. It's not about us, and it never will be. And it's like one of my mentors, Daniel. He's the one who actually got me closer to God and sent me the Bible and everything. He was just, there comes a point like we're becoming a man, which like when I'm a father, I want to have, especially if we have a boy, like some coming of age to like indicate that like you're a man now. Like whether it's a trip, whether it's like, some type of ceremonial thing for our family, whatever the fuck that is. But like essentially when you put yourself last, like, and that's our fucking job. That's our fucking job. And like it comes with it, man. It comes with being a fucking man. And like you start to realize that, and I think that's why a lot of it is fucked up. And there's a way to go about it by not making it about you, by putting yourself on the back burner. But you can't blame everybody else. You can't be like, oh, I fucking do all this for everybody. It's like, nah, man, that's just your job. And that is what it is. Like, biologically, that is your fucking job. Like when you boil it down, she does this, she takes care, she fucking nurtures, she does this, she holds this type of space, and your job is to hold this type of space. And every once in a while, it's gonna get a little out of whack, but like, that's your fucking job, and it gets lonely, but it also gets lonely at the top. You want to do great things, you want to have those things, like it comes with it. This is the lonely shit that everybody talks about. Is like, and I'm starting to feel it more as a man. I used to not understand when men would like feel some type of way. Like I honestly didn't understand it until you start to have these types of relationships and these things, and you're building things, and you're like, oh, like it is a lot. Like, but you're carrying like decades of decades of, I don't even want to say trauma, but just like past things from ancestors and men of like old times. Like you're carrying all of it to this moment. So it's your job to get rid of the baggage and like keep the vessel clean again. Like that's what we keep coming back to. But yeah, it's interesting, man. Like just this whole fucking life experience, man, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both pretty similar where maybe at face value we might come off as however people might portray us. We kind of alluded to that, like, hey, I was
Yeah.
surprised you're not a douche, right? Like
Yeah.
I get that a lot. But when you get to know you and you get to know me, like you're very in tune with your emotions. You in particular are very empathetic. You
Thank you.
are extremely vulnerable and simple, like you display, what's the word I'm looking for? Sympathy, if that makes sense. Empathy,
Mm.
sympathy, kind of the same. Um, you're just in tune and you're very transparent. Um, did that I'm assuming you haven't always been like that. Have you been able to tap in more to that side of you based on you've now mentioned two separate mentors?
Mm.
Have they taught you some things along the way that has helped you tap into like the actual core values of who you are?
It's a great question. I think first, I've always been a very emotional and dramatic person. You can even say like I get that all the time from Nikki, like you're so, in which I am. I am a little dramatic. I'm very emotional. I have a hard time like holding in what I'm feeling. Like I am very like it's on my fucking sleeve. I'm unfiltered. Even how I talk to, like, I had a client not too long ago be like, "Hey man, I feel like you get a little defensive when I ask these types of questions," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do get defensive because like, what the fuck, you know?" And so it's a double-edged sword. I grew up that way. Like my family was very chaotic, but a lot of love, very open. Like we had problems, we didn't give a fuck. Like if you were coming over, something was probably gonna happen. Like it just, we were always kind of that family. But through sports, it was became very masculine, right? In the sense of like you don't show your emotions, you don't show your things. I've always played very emotional, but like when it came, I was very like stoic when it came to like a lot of things outside of football. And then yeah, my first like real mentor was this dude Matt Coman. Phenomenal person. He's done a lot of really cool shit. Continues to do cool shit. Fantastic athlete. Paul Check certified coach. Like really cool dude. He was helping. He was training me for my NFL pro days and stuff. And he asked me like, "What does my fully expressed self look like?" And I've never been asked that before. And I'm like, "Fuck, I don't know." And he's like, "Are you your fully expressed self when you're playing football?" And I'm like, "No, I hide a lot of like." And at that time, I had the long hair and I cut it because I wanted to look good for the GMs. I like wanted to look a certain type of way for them to be draftable instead of just like being myself. So I was already starting to kind of compromise a little bit. And that question sent me down a rabbit hole of tapping more into like my feminine side, which like we have both energies, right? Like we carry it. We're holistic creatures. It's just knowing when to tap in and what that feminine looks like in certain places. But that's where a lot of creativity started coming out in my painting and my journaling and my writing and like, like my creativity started to really start to, and I went super deep into the feminine side, and then I've found the balance, and then finding the balance now is what I do daily with jujitsu. Jujitsu can be very feminine too. It's not just like kill people. It's very artistic and very methodical and very flowy. So it is can be feminine, but there is that masculine competitiveness to get out. So I think like over the years, I've just learned that the only really way to authentically be yourself and build is to like be vulnerable. I think I used to overshare. I think that used to be like with just people they'd ask me and I wouldn't be able to like, but I found out how to be vulnerable and authentic. Wow, Nikki kind of taught me like, hey, you don't need to let everybody in on the plan. Like you
It's
need
an
to.
energy thing.
Yes, exactly. Because now you're inviting energy in that maybe they don't have the best intentions. Because I used to be like, ah, fucking yeah, dude, we should, like, and then so now I've learned to kind of no more leakage. I'm learning to keep it. I'm still vulnerable. I'm still open. I'm still emotional. I like to. It's double-edged sword though, man, because the passion comes from that, but also there's
You're
like the
excited.
other.
You're excited about it. You want to share
Yeah,
what's going on. I'm in,
totally.
I work,
Yeah.
dude. I'm working through the exact same thing. Yep.
Mm. Yeah, man. So it's a great question. I just think yeah, over time, yeah, and I also have learned that if you don't express it, however it is for you, everybody's different. Like I went through a series where I painted every fucking day for 3 months, just painted like crazy, and then I haven't painted since. I was making music for a while, and then great, so I go through different seasons of expression. But if I don't express it, or if I don't talk about it, if I don't kind of even because like even anger, I was working with this with Brady, the guy that I work with now, about like sometimes I could beat myself up over getting angry, where it's like, dude, but that's an emotion that like needs to be felt. Like you can't just suppress. Like if we suppress, it gets expressed in other ways through diseases, through injuries, through physical things. If we don't let these things out of our body, so I'm very big on like expression and trying not to hold things in because like the body does keep score. And that's when you see people getting sick, like, and it's because they're holding so much shit in, whether it's resentment, anger, sadness, whatever the fucking case is. So I'm very big on expression and vulnerability through that. And honestly, for me, social media has been that for a long time. Of just making videos when I feel compelled to, or making workout videos, or whatever the case is, whatever the fuck comes to my mind. I'm very much like, I just let it rip. If I feel it, I like it, boom, it's expressed. I'm not perfectionist about it.
You don't have a script.
No, no, never. It's hard for
Yeah.
me to script shit. Yeah,
Yeah. Same. Like, today's post might be completely different from tomorrow's post. You
totally.
see, and which could be maybe detrimental to like the growth of my page
Hmm.
potentially, because like you see, who's a good example of somebody that posts the same type of video all the time?
Yeah,
Um,
there's creators that have their video
they have their
regimen that,
thing.
Mm-hmm.
They have their thing that you know that it's going to be a message about this, and they're going to be sitting at this desk, and it's going to be a Q&A type style, like DJ Shipley. Do you know who that is?
That sounds very familiar.
He's a Navy SEAL guy. They pretty
Okay.
much have the same thing. He does like a Q&A every day, and it's just him answering questions, and it gets great traction because like that's what people
You know
want
what you're
from him.
getting.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what you're getting. Where me, it's like I don't even necessarily know what I want to portray today. Like
Dude, yeah,
I'll figure it out. I'm gonna post between 4 and 5. Haven't even thought about it, but I'll figure it out.
yeah.
Whatever's on my heart, I'll take 20 minutes and sit here.
Mm.
No distractions. Like what is going through my mind today? I have a lot going on. I'm kind of fired up today, honestly, but maybe it'll be a banger. I don't know. Will it be
Yeah,
a reel? Will it be a photo? I have no idea. Will it be a
because
Q? I
that's the
don't know.
art. Because that's
It
your
is.
art. Yeah,
It
man. That's
is.
your
Mm-hmm.
expression. I love the idea of being an aspiring Renaissance man. Like I've always loved that. I love the idea of the warrior poet. Like
Yeah.
all energies all the fucking time of like, yeah, whatever it is, like, and to me that's relatable. I've had a lot of people tell me, I had a coach when I was younger say Caleb's good at every, and we overheard it. I wasn't even supposed to hear it. My dad overheard it and told me to fire me up, but he's like, Caleb's good at everything, but he's not great at anything. And I fucking held on to that for a long time. Like Caleb does, he could do everything, but he doesn't focus on one thing. And I get that in business too. I was kind of a generalist for companies and doing a lot of different things, but I didn't focus on one thing. And I still hear that now. Like, well, maybe you guys should niche down and be really good at one thing. And I'm like, yeah, but I do what needs to be done in the moment. And I have pride on being able to do a lot. And if I need to go deeper, not wider, then I'll bring help in. At least when I'm being like business specific, but when it comes to being an artist and creative, like I think that's how you eventually carve your own lane. All this
Yeah.
experimenting that we're doing and like trying this and trying that, like we're young. By the time we get to a certain point, we'll create our own niche because you're fucking hammering different things and then something hits. And even when that thing does it, I'm not just gonna double down on like doing that all the time because that's not authentic. Now I'm like focused on an external outcome because that got likes. Now I'm like shifting to that. Like that's just not how I've ever worked. I've always been very in the moment, and that's where me and Nikki will butt a little bit with like our stuff because she's like, well, let's take the time to perfect it a little bit, which I do need because sometimes I rush a little bit to get it out. But me, I'm like, when it's done, it's done. Like that's to the world now, you know. So there is the two sides to that, but we're very much on the same page about authentic expression. Like we're here to produce our art, and like that's
Yeah.
what taste. That's it.
And people don't have to like that because they're going to interpret however they see your art is however they're going to interpret it. Yeah,
Totally.
like it's funny, dude, because I've again we don't talk all the time, but I watch all of your stuff, and
Thank you.
like I remember not long ago it was a ton of jujitsu videos, and
Yeah.
then like for a little while you're on the freaking turf running routes, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
were getting back into your freaking football days, and then bunch of kettlebell stuff, and then like so it's just like it's like hey I'm really feeling this right now, so I'm just gonna express it. And
Totally.
I really appreciate that. And I'm the same
Thank
way.
you.
Whatever I'm feeling that day, or, I don't really know exactly what my thing is now, I guess. Um,
Well, I
it's
see
really
like
focused on,
you get after like one of your clients a little bit, like holding them accountable on the call, which is
yeah,
like great to see. But
yeah,
then like you opening up being vulnerable, then you in the gym, it's like it's
yeah.
important for all those different sides.
And realistically, like I probably should hammer more videos out like that, right? Of me like showing exactly what it is that I do, me holding my boy Mark accountable, but like because it did great.
Hmm.
But that's really not like I'm not trying to get a million followers. Like I don't care if it did great or if it did bad. It just like I made that wasn't my only call that Saturday morning. It just,
Yeah.
like that. And sometimes I don't want to share that because it's an intimate relationship that I have with a client, right? Like I called dude and I
Hmm.
was like, "Hey, I got a video. Do you mind if I post this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. I called another guy the other day. "Hey, do you mind if I share your story a little bit?" Yeah,
Hmm.
and like, I'm feeling that at that time, but other times it might be just like, "Hey, maybe I just want to take a video of my wife exercising in the morning because she's 38 weeks pregnant, fucking killing it,
Mm.
right?"
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
so it's seasons, man. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. It's yeah, and really fucking seasons last different lengths, man. Like and some of them were interesting. Like I've been super fucking tired the last 2 weeks for I don't know what's changed. We had a
Me
pretty
too.
like we had a pretty and it's funny, you start to understand that most people like we're energetically all connected. Like everything is like one, right? So you're like during winter it's a specific season, it's cold, it's internal, you're staying inside, the weather, the sun's not out as much. Like that's real shit. And then spring has sprung, so you're feeling a little bit more energy in the beginning. And then now I'm like a little tired. We did a lot of travel. It's been harder to get up for that morning class. Like, okay, like, and let me sit with that because I've learned too that my old Kaleb, like where I've grown the most recently, the last couple weeks has been old Kaleb. When things slow down, I try to speed up. That's forcing. Like, man, shit's slowing down. Let it slow down. Let God create space. Let God work while you're resting. Like, because me trying to do more outreach during a slow period, or me trying to force some new shit or new creative thing, is me trying to grab the wheel. Like, now I'm idolizing things outside of my control instead of just trusting the fucking plan because it's come through every single fucking time. Dude, I had a crazy experience. Like, we met God face to fucking face, bro. Like, it was just like undeniable experience, and it all was coming through periods of rest, like embracing the slowness. Because what usually happens with Kaleb is he would force a lot of shit. He would get it because you get it. If you put energy into it, you're gonna get it. I get the new shit, and then when things would go start to get turned up again, now I'm overwhelmed and overspread because I planted way too much seeds. Like, instead of just focusing on, like, yeah, like, well, let me just go inward. Let me just keep the fucking vessel clean, and what's gonna come is gonna come. You don't need to force anything. You never need to force it. I had a coach the day I blew my knee out in college. He said, "Let the game come to you today. Let the game come to you." Me trying to do too much. It's been my story my whole life. Let it come to you. You don't need to force. You. It's chosen. It's done. Like, but we are I'm cut from that walk on cloth. Like, I need to outwork everybody. I need to constantly produce, but I'm learning that sometimes the rest is the production. Sometimes the rest is that 1%. I had a meeting today. I planted new seeds. Okay, maybe that's the 1% today, man. Like, maybe that's all that's needed today. You don't need to force it. If you get some inspiration, cool, go express it. But like, you don't need to force. But I'm learning when it comes in, get it out and see what happens, as opposed to like pressing on the gas, man. Like, isn't always, there's seasons for that. And sometimes it's day to day, moment to moment. Like you said, maybe right now I want to do this workout, and then the next one I want to post about a fucking poem, and maybe the next one I want to get after someone's ass. Like, it could be moment to moment, or it's 3 weeks of that type of shit. It's just listening to the season fully, and that's like, to me, being present. That's really being present, not focusing on what post. I've never given a client a fucking content schedule, never once in my life. Like, because I might not resonate with that in 3 months. Like, I have a plan. Like, we want to market certain things during those times, and like, but the world changes, things change, the platform changes, we change. We might not resonate with that idea in 3 months. Like, I can't create something for 3 months down the road. That's just not like how I personally can operate. Like, I can't. It's like here now. Like, that's it. Yeah, man. So it's just, yeah, it's been awesome. Been blessed. Like, the more you learn, the more you experience. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, yeah, God told me during that experience that I had with him was just tell them it's me. That's all he said. Your job is to tell them it's me. Like, your life is here to show as evidence, and your job is to tell them it's me. That's it. Tell them it's me. Tell them it's me. Tell them it's me. I was like, heard, bro. Like, that's it. Got you. Like, so now when people ask me, that's all I say. Like, fuck, dude, that's God. I don't know.
Can you elaborate on that? Your
Yeah.
experience, and you don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, no, I will, man. I'm
But
an open book.
I know there's a lot into it, and I'd love to hear about it because I have had quite a few God moments, I
Experiences.
call them. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I try to share mine when they get brought up.
Yeah,
So I'd
absolutely.
love to hear it, man.
I appreciate your curiosity about it. Yeah, I will. So like, I was never really been religious, and like, even going back, like when I was younger, the Jesus freaks was like, when you were a kid, like, I just didn't resonate with the kids that were super like, I met God, I met Jesus. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like when I was a kid, I didn't understand it. I didn't grow up religious. My family grew up kind of Catholic. My great grandma Gigi, she was from we came from Sicily, and so, like, Catholic and shit. So like, it was kind of practiced. I knew a little bit about it, but we never dove in. I never went to church, never any of that stuff. My immediate family was just never about it. So it was kind of foreign to me. I kind of got into the Bible a little bit in college. I had my receiver coach gave me a Bible, and I read it just to read it, though. It wasn't resonating. I was too focused on trying to go play in the NFL. Like, I didn't I was not it wasn't landing. Then after that, I kind of got into like Buddhism and like Taoism, and I resonated more with like the universe. It was easier for me to conceptualize and digest. And it's funny because it makes me emotional when I think about how like much I turned my back on like Jesus and God, right? And this is like what everybody talks about. And I used to not even understand people like, oh, be fearful of God. Like you're supposed to fear God. Like I'm like, why would if he loves you, like why are you supposed to fear him? I don't understand this. And Daniel, so Daniel, he was like, I don't know his exact title, but he was with the shoe surgeon for a long time. He was a big artist. He does like a lot of shoes for like athletes and all. He blew up, the artist, the shoe surgeon, and Daniel was like the man. Met him at a Super Bowl party, and this dude was like, he had this energy about him, man, that was just contagious. And I was like, dude, who is that? He was fly. He's his dad. He's a great husband, great father. Like all this stuff. I'm like just feeling this dude. And I sent him some product when I was working with Strong Coffee. We got together, got a relationship going, started talking. And I asked him one day, I was like, man, what's this thing you got, man? And he was like, it's God. Like, it's Jesus, it's God. Like, that's all it is, man. And I didn't, like, I still was falling on deaf ears a little bit. Like, okay, but like,
You were hoping to hear something a little that would resonate better with you.
totally.
Yeah.
And that's all he had for me. Then he kept sharing stuff and he goes, can I send you and Nikki a Bible? And I said, yeah, man, I'd love that. Dude, that Bible sat there for months and I'd look at it and I was scared to open it. Like, I was just like, I don't know what's gonna happen if I was like almost scared to change. I was almost scared to like because I know that I'm gonna be used to talk about it. I used to think it was corny when people would be like, "All glory to God." I used to think growing up that that was corny. Like first foremost, I like to thank Jesus Christ. I didn't understand. Like I was so ignorant to that. And then I open up the fucking Bible. And first I go, let me just read this historical book. This is the most historical book on the planet. It's caused wars. It's the most historical, like, this is like, and you even see it. It's just like, what the, like, it just looks powerful. And so I open it, I start reading it. He's like, start in Proverbs. And so I started in Proverbs, resonated with it, and it was lining up with my life. And then I was like, you know what, let me just start in the Old Testament, man. And I just start reading, and I'm like, I'm bought in. I'm reading these stories. I'm like hearing, like, I'm reading all this shit, and it's resonating. And my faith started to grow. And then I'm like, started just to hear more of the voice. Like for me, it's in the car. And I realized this whole time I've been talking to God in my car the whole time. Like I have these really in-depth conversations with myself in the car. I get questions asked, and I just start talking, and everything comes out to me in those moments, my ideas, everything, like, and I started to realize it's him. But during the time I just thought, whatever. And so I started having more of this, and then diving deeper into it, really starting to feel it. And then I just surrendered, like, okay, let me just live 30 days as if like all this is real, right? Like all this is the thing. And in the beginning, even in one of my videos, I was talking about the universe. And Daniel, man, he's a fucking disciple, bro. He like hits me up and he just goes, read these verses. And he sends me to Romans. I don't know the exact verses. I'm still getting situated with scripture like that. But it's Romans, and in the scripture it talks about how people idolize the created and not the creator. So he's essentially telling me stop fucking saying the universe and stop idolizing the created. It's the creator. And in a very nice way. He's just telling me you should read this. And he told me that he was praying on it, and God told him to send me those verses, and it changed it. I read it, and I was like, okay, let me just start being very careful with my words and praying and fully live idolizing the Creator, God and Jesus Christ, right? And just amazing things were happening. Like shit started to pick up. People were coming into my life, and all I was doing was just fucking reading scripture and studying. I'd go to ChatGPT, I'd be like, hey, can you break this verse down a little bit more for me? Like, what is this meaning? And I'm telling ChatGPT things that are going on in my life. So I'm like kind of keeping everything like documented. And then we South by Southwest comes around. And Nikki and I get tickets to go to see Leon Bridges. It's like this, I don't know, I guess it was an after party. I thought it was like a little concert, but me, Nikki, my buddy Luke, we go to this little after party thing. And it was cool. We show up, and we took a little bit of mushrooms, not a crazy amount, nothing to like, but it always kind of lifts the veil a little bit, kind of gives you a little like, um, and we were walking, and we left the little party. We were going to the Four Seasons because there's this little like trail around the back, and it already kind of felt a little different. Like the veil has already felt like it was lifted. It's super late at night because the party took place like 2 a.m. And South by Southwest is crazy. There's just shit going on all like week long from fucking day to night. Like there's just no stopping. It's a really cool event in Austin. It's like innovation meets tech meets like all these celebrities, people, like everybody's kind of out. It's an interesting time. And there's nobody outside. And we walk into the first seat. The first the dude opens the door and he goes, "Welcome back." And we're like, okay, like I don't know, like thank you for that. I guess we were meant to be here, and we go down this path, and we start walking this trail. It's a beautiful trail, and the first thing that started was we come across. It's just feeling a little more like lifted, and I've been feeling very protected, like very protected. But I do know like with that comes the other things, because even at the party there was like some evil spirits that I could feel, even in certain people that like I had to avoid. Especially when you take mushrooms, you're a little more susceptible to those types of energies, right? Like I always feel like I have to battle the demons early in my trip, like like shit's happening. People were like all over us in line, like trying to talk to. It was fucking interesting, and I already knew like shit was going on, like. Because I'm a believer in plant-based medicines too. And we don't. It's not often, but when we do, it's very ceremonial. We were celebrating the new year, and that was actually the start of the new year in March. Like the new year doesn't start in January. That's not real. The new year starts in March. Like lunar, like universally, the new year is in March. So we were celebrating that, stepping into new chapters. We just had our biggest month, like all kinds of stuff, celebrating. And so they're kind of we're battling all these kind of like little weird spirits. We leave, we go on, we're in nature, we're feeling good, and we come across like this construction site in Austin, and we're like, whoa, like all this kind of crazy shit is happening. Like we're like right in the middle of like all this building. We see these fucking huge pipes, like these huge pipes, like fucking huge, that are being built, and they're ripping trees out, and they're building a smart city, and like skyscrapers, like in but there used to be nothing here but like nature. So we're kind of just like tripping on like this is wild, man. We're like right in the middle of it, and it's me from California, my best friend from California who moved down here to be like with us and this shit, and then Nikki from Hawaii. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, dude, we're here for a reason. Like we're right in the middle of it. We got brought here, and I keep knowing that like we're meant to do something here with the people here. I don't know what it is. And so we're tripping on that, and we continue to walk. And I just keep hearing fucking this voice going, "Tell them it's me. Tell them it's me. Tell them it's me." And I'm like, "What the hell, man?" Like, okay, I'm kind of telling. I used to like be a little shy about sharing it with like, especially it's vulnerable when you're kind of changing your faith in a way. It's like hard to share with your partner because you're like, do I sound crazy? Do I look? And she's been so accepting of everything, but I'm like, don't know what to always share. So I'm kind of telling her like, man, I'm just hearing fucking God just in my ear right now. And then we pull up, dude, to this little beautiful dock, like this dock, and the water is, dude, like still as I've ever seen water still in my life, just still water on this dock, overlooking the city, and and then just nature right in front of us. It's like nature and like the city and on this on the lake right there. And I just start going, oh my god, like oh my god, like he says, tell them it's me, like dude, this is beautiful, like he's with us, he's walking with us, like I feel so protected. I'm just like, this is crazy. And I'm looking on the water, and I hear walk on it, like walk on the water, like take a step, like super loud, bro. Like walk on the water, take a step. And I'm telling Nikki, I'm like, dude, he's telling me to take a step on the water, like. And she's just kind of sitting there, and she's just like letting me work through it. And I'm getting like emotional. I'm like, I can't like sit still. I'm like, I'm just hearing his voice, dude. And then I just started crying, and and then as I'm like debating, because he's saying, take a step. Like if you trust me, take a step. I'm right with you. Like you will walk on this water. If you take a step, you will walk on this water. And I'm like, dude, am I tripping? Like what? Like no way. You know what I mean? But I genuinely felt like if I take a step, I'm walking on this fucking water. Like it was crazy. And then I'm debating, and then all of a sudden there's nothing over there, and this fucking light, dude, this huge light just starts like bursting out of the trees. Like, and there's no cars over there, there's nothing, it's just trees. And it looks like it's moving towards us, but like getting bigger at the same time. And thank God I had like two witnesses with me, because like I would have felt like I was crazy. And then I got that overwhelming fear of God moment where like in the scripture I was reading literally that day was I forgot exactly what the moment was, but it was all about you don't you keep they don't look God in the eyes, right? Like they always like bow down away from the light, and they're like you show respect. like that's I felt the fear of God, like, oh, he's in front of me, and I couldn't look at the light after him. I was like, whoa. And then Nikki was just like, it's okay, like, look at me, like, you're okay. And I just started crying again. And I was like, dude, what is going on? And he just kept saying, like, tell them it's me, tell them it's me. And then we go to sit down on this bench, like, we prayed. I didn't end up walking on the water, but I didn't try. I didn't even attempt. So there's that part. Like, I literally felt like if I would have taken a step on the water, I would have been swallowed by the light. Like, it felt like I would have taken a step and, like, the light just would have swallowed me. And I just would have been, like, to the other side. Like, it was very telling. But I also knew he was telling me, knowing that I wasn't going to do it, just to be like, you're not there yet. And that's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're working through this relationship. He wasn't like, he was testing me, like, I know you're not there yet, but let me just show you where I'm at. I'm right here. And we go to take a seat, and there's like a folded linen sheet on this bench that says, "This moment of Zen is brought to you by John Ryan." And I'm like the most biblical fucking, like, it's just like these really interesting like things throughout the entire night that just kept like being presented, that I'm like, it's just undeniable. And it was just the feeling that I had inside of me, like him telling me to step on the water. And when I told my mentor Daniel, he said, next time you take that step on the fucking water, essentially, like, you do it. Like, next time he tells you that, you do it. And like, watch what happens. And I was like, holy shit. So it was pretty profound. I know it was like kind of a long story, but it was just like this very interesting, like, being revealed to. And I genuinely in that moment was telling Nikki, like, I feel like we're living a chapter out of the Bible. Like, I genuinely feel like I'm being called upon. Like, I truly do feel like right now God's waking up his soldiers, man. Like, I feel like if you're being tapped, like, you need to listen. Like, if you're being tapped to something bigger, like, you need to listen. And people have been reaching out to me left and right, and I'm doing my job. Tell them it's me. I go, dude, all I've been doing is opening up the Bible and reading. Like, that's my advice. Like, open that thing up and start reading. It's him. He's waking you up. He's tapping you on the shoulder because he's getting his warriors ready, man. Like, the world, spiritual warfare, like daily warfare with you. Like, it's him. Like, he's behind it. And I feel like I've never been that way until like recently, where I've completely surrendered and been like, okay. And he shows up in the funniest ways, man. Like, and it's just your relationship. I don't resonate with religion. I resonate with relationship. And it's a relationship. I don't like try to be religious. It's just, I got me and him, man. And like, I like, so I don't know. It's just, it's been fucking bananas, to say the least, man. Like, it's been crazy.
No, I
Thanks for
appreciate
listening.
you. Yeah, of course. That's why I asked. I appreciate you sharing. Um, are you familiar with Dave Ramsey?
That name sounds super familiar.
He's he's kind of the money guy, right? I don't even really know how to describe him. He's worth up $1 billion. He owns his own company. Long story short, my wife used to work for him in Nashville, and he was just on an episode of Sean and Ryan show. Have you heard that show before?
Yes, I have heard that show. Yeah.
And he's very faith-based and Christian and whatnot. And he described, when he started becoming successful, he's like, his company's called Ramsey basically. And he's like, I don't own Ramsey. I work for Ramsey. God owns Ramsey. I work for him. And I kind of, we listened to that, a few weeks ago, and I was like, I feel like that's where I'm at. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I came up with the idea, I guess, and created this company, but it's like, I just work here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't own this thing. God does. And it sounds like maybe you're kind of seeing that as well, where it's like, yeah, you and your lady are building something, but it's like, again, it really doesn't have anything to do with you guys. Like, just keep listening, just keep following. And when people ask you, man, how are you doing this, or how are you building this, or like, what's going on, like, what's up with your vibe? It's him. Tell him it's him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been tapping into that myself, and like, it's crazy how you alluded to earlier, like, we're all intertwined energetically. And I know that there's a reason why you commented on my thing the other day, why we shared a few DMs. Hey, let's catch up. Hey, let's do it on a podcast. Why we're having this conversation right now. And getting goosebumps, dude. Like, it feels really fucking cool. It feels really cool, man. And I don't know you from Adam, apart from the couple podcasts we've done
I
and
know. Yeah.
couple messages every now and then. But really fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's beautiful. And I think that it's just important, like, and I think those are the things too, like, when you know, with not just your significant other, but with people, man. Like, doing like you're doing God's work, you're doing your work, and you just resonate with people that are doing it, that are in the arena, doing it the right way. And to be honest, like there is a scarcity of men to look up to. There's a scarcity of like good fathers and good husbands that are genuinely like living that life. And so when you like I seek that shit out. Like if I like that's like I feel like my number one thing with men, like if they're a good
So
husband,
obvious too, isn't it, Caleb? It's
so yeah,
so
dude,
obvious to guys like you and I when we fucking see it. We're like, I want to talk to them now. Even if
yeah,
they give me 5 minutes. What's up, dude? I'm
mm-hmm,
Caleb. Nice to meet you. Like, let me,
1000%.
if I can just grab a little bit from you,
Mm-hmm.
like, just help. Like, it's
A
just,
1000%.
I'm looking for it constantly too, man. I'm looking for it. That's kind of why I brought up the mentor thing. And I'm sorry to
Mm-hmm.
cut you off. I'm just,
No, no,
like I
no,
told you, I'm
no.
kind of on one, but that's why I kind of brought up the mentor thing where, I mentor a lot of fucking people,
Mm-hmm.
and my guys every now and then they're like, dude, who do you check in with? And I'm like,
Mm.
fuck, that's a great question. Like, I don't really necessarily have that. And
Mm.
I'm almost envious in a sense where you've mentioned a couple of your mentors. Um, do you pay them?
So like Brady, I've kind of he's cool. And these are his words. He thanked me for essentially being like the first one. I went to high school with him. He was always like super jacked. So I always respected that. That's like number one, right? Like honestly, like if you don't take care of your meat suit, it's kind of hard for me to respect you. But he's always been a really good person, really fucking jacked. Was a personal trainer for a long time, but really started getting into like this like development stuff. And I don't even want to say spirituality because I think that gives people too much woo woo. But he reached out and he was like, "Hey man, I'd love to just kind of like I'm working on some stuff. I'd love to do it with you." And to be honest, like I don't like seek things out. Like I don't pay. I called Daniel my mentor through just how he shows up and conversations that we have, and he sent me a Bible, and he just like it's just the little things. We send voice messages back to each other like maybe once a week. And like that to me, like he's just doing his life and he's my mentor. Matt Coleman, I did pay him for training during that period of time. And we've done some like exchange of work, but like Matt Coleman, I swear by that guy. He's phenomenal. He's out in LA. We work together. And then Brady, I'm transitioning into getting to a point of being a paying client because I do believe in I've always struggled with like not showing up if it's like just if it's like free or if like we're
Skin in the
doing
game, my friend.
totally you have skin in the game and you're investing. So Brady is worth every single penny that I would put into a mentor because he the thing about Brady that I've learned is like most mentors, and I haven't experienced this with like Matt's been phenomenal too. Um, but with Brady, most coaches try to coach. Like on the call, they're trying to coach. Brady genuinely just listens to me and gives me and like regurgitates it back to me and like almost just is the perfect sounding board for like because like I feel like you're cut from the same cloth. Like he's really good with I feel like people like us who are we don't need motivation. We don't need like we need maybe a little accountability here and there, but just talking through it like gets it done. Like him just listening is worth it because it's like I'm
He
talking
knows
to
that
some
you already know the answer.
totally. And he's not trying to do anything than just listen. And he gives like really good, he's got really good prompts too from his like note taker that he like puts back in. He sends you like the actionable steps you talked about. He gave me that internal shower. He gave me the power of awareness. Like Brady's on it. And he's one of those guys that's like doing it. He's doing it daily and then just like passing it down. And same thing with Matt Coleman. So I've been very blessed to be around people. And again, we seek them out. And it's happened naturally. Like Matt Coleman is a guy that I always check in with every so often who does do this type of stuff, but he's more in person in LA with like his clients and he's always building some shit. And then Brady's like this is what he's really going into is like this type of like and I don't love the word like men's group. I've never like I've always been kind of like with that because I did some when I came out to Austin. They're great. Like I think it's cool, but like yeah, Brady just has a little bit of a vibe to it that just doesn't seem I don't know, it's just he's not trying. He's just there and he's doing it. He's doing it very fucking well. But yeah, he's a guy that we I know he does charge. We haven't done like actual like an actual schedule. It's been more just like I've helped bring in some clients just through like because we're not even on like a real schedule. It's more just like, hey, let's catch up on a fucking call and like. But like if I were on an actual schedule with him, which I told him after the month of May, I'm gonna start like making this a priority because we have a pretty big travel month. I'm like, let me just get to the month of May, and then I do want to pay you, and I want to like because I've never actually paid a mentor, yeah, like fully. It's always been through like an exchange of some sort. But I do think having skin in the game is probably the most important part because that's what's like gonna make you show up, in a weird way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just curious. I think I have some in my life. I just don't necessarily classify them as that, but they are, if
Yeah,
that makes sense. They're more of like check-ins and like, you can bounce things off them and things of that nature.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's good shit.
Okay, last thing. I want to tap into this because I'm genuinely curious and I might have some more questions for you
Please, yeah.
offline as well. You've brought up, I had a client or this client. What is a client of yours? Like what exactly is passive? We've brought it up, but like we haven't totally
Mm,
dove into it. What exactly is somebody getting? Or like what do you provide, I guess is my question. Because it sounds I'm very
yeah,
curious.
that's a great question. And I think like honestly, it's project by project.
I
I've
had a feeling you
had
were gonna kind of dependent on
Yeah,
said
it
client. Yeah.
is because it's kind of like we've done one client. We've done a complete rebrand. We rebranded the logo, did all the typeface, color palette, like rebranded, did a branding video, did a website. Like boom, it was more of a service based thing, like in person service. So like there's not much like back end maintenance. It was more just like landing page, rebrand, revamp, boom. Um,
Fly away.
yeah, I to be
Yep.
honest, like as I sit here, like what I want, like what the value I want is damn, every time I work with passive, I'm injected with passion, energy, and I walk away making more money. Like that's like the ultimate goal with whatever the lever that we pull is that we can do, because we can help rebrand. Our bread and butter is probably like experiential marketing, like events. If you have a product sampling. If it's a service based stuff, getting you set up with keynote speaks, PR, getting you on podcasts, like just kind of like using our network to wherever you align with to your audience and like what's needed, what lever needs to be pulled to get more exposure. Because at the end of the day, like what we're trying to do is make sure again that you, if it's you as the brand, if it's the product, whatever the case is the hero, and like that it's getting the justice that it deserves from a public facing and it's making it authentic. I'm not trying to sell anything. And we only work with people and products that we use and resonate with. Like we have CPG is like I do like the CPG space because products I think are great, especially if you have a product that can, obviously business model. You want something that's like reoccurring. If you can get on subscription, like stuff like that. We have like a client who I love. His name's Andrew Sendejo. He has this product called Braintree, or it's Braintree Nutrition is the company. The product that we mostly work with is Brain Water. It's like an adaptogen, nootropic, electrolyte. It's a fantastic product. It tastes amazing. He played 12 years in the NFL. I actually grew up a Viking fan, so I knew of him before I met him. I met him and I was like, oh, dude, like this is awesome. And then it was a slow burn. It wasn't like, let's do work together. We stayed in touch. And then it got to a point where it's like, cool, dude, we can help. We can help elevate. Like again, Nikki is like efficiency queen, aesthetic, design. Like, so we have like a bunch of different things that we can pull on. And then also we have a lot of contractors that we can work with too if projects get big, if it's a fucking commercial, if it's like whatever the case is, we also have people in different realms that we pull on to come in for certain projects if needed. But essentially anything creative and anything that moves the fucking needle that we can do. We've done Shopify backend stuff, like Shopify app stacks, getting people set up with the right tech and apps and setting up that type of stuff.
You do ads?
Ads are I we can do ad creative. But again, I think the best ads from my experience, like in the CPG space, are organic videos that do well. If it did good organically, if you put some money behind it, it's probably gonna do well as an ad. Like we don't just like create ads. It's like that's always been my experience. Like if it does well organically, and it's like because everything as a brand or product, like the shit you're posting should be about like it was funny. We pitched to Rob Deerdeck, me and my buddy Luke when we were younger. We pitched to Rob Deerdeck on his show, and like the best feedback he gave was, if you have a product or anything, the best way to sell it is the lifestyle around it, right?
Yeah.
This is the thing that's giving me this. If it's energy, it's giving me the energy to do this. If it's coaching, it's giving me all the fucking tools and resources to do this lifestyle, which is essentially like all the testimonials you'll post of guys going like, dude, like my wife fucking loved on me today. I'm showing up better. Like that's real shit. Like guys like, fuck, how do I get my wife to notice me more? How do I, whatever the case is that guys are struggling with, like, so you do already kind of post a result in the lifestyle of that stuff. So ads are more like, even our content, I feel like is just, honestly, to answer your question, passive brings taste. Like passive has taste. We're like the Rick, I want to be like the Rick Rubin of like, I guess you could say like PR or media. Like I want to be able to be the instrument that like authentically gives like your product the taste to attract its perfect customer, to attract its people. Like it's vibrational. We're not focused on the result of bringing in customers. We're just going to help authentically express this brand the best through your vision, and it's going to attract what it's supposed to attract. We're just helping put the pieces in place, and we have good taste. We just know what like is good based on that product, because like this product might not need what that one needed, and to some people, like we talked about, that might be a hard business model. But I'm not trying to niche down. I like projects. I like, hey, for the next 6 months I want to get ready for this big fucking show. I want to get ready for this thing. I want to do a music video. I want to do, it's like cool, like we have some artists that we work with. We have, so it's just a bunch of different shit, but doing cool shit with cool people is like the punchline of, I just want to build, like, because I'm like a fucking little, I'm just doing this. It doesn't matter which direction you put me. I'm just gonna keep doing this. And I like being a number two. To be honest, like being a number one, like yeah, we own our own company, but like I like helping up, like being of service. I enjoy being of service and providing value to other people. So like being a number two that wants no credit. Passive, it can have 100 followers forever, as long as those 100 are like the quality that people know. Like all I ask is behind closed doors, and they go, "Yo, how'd you get this?" Like, "Yo, these people at Passive, they're the shit. They helped me a lot. They had this idea." Like, but public facing, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just want to help grow. We don't want any credit. We just want to help people grow and do cool shit. And I want people to walk away going, every time I walk into a meeting with those people, every time I work with them, I leave with, yeah, more ideas, more passion, and more money.
Like it.
So,
I think it's
yeah.
cool.
Thanks, man.
Good, man. No, you're welcome. Is there anything else on your heart, Caleb, man, or I'll get you out of here?
Oh, man, I'm good, dude. I just, it's a pleasure to see you. How, give me a quick update on you, though, man. Like, what's, so you're about to have a, so she's due, because 39 weeks is, that's like the end of it, right? 39 weeks is pregnancy?
Yeah, I mean, 40 is, pretty
40,
much all
40
she
weeks.
pretty
Yeah.
pretty much all she wrote. So, yeah, appointment tomorrow, and then appointment a week from tomorrow, which is our actual due date. So, honestly, dude, any day. I'm on airplane mode, so it could be going down right now. I mean, who knows?
That's hilarious.
But no,
How do you
we're
feel?
good.
Like, how do
I'm
you feel through it all? Like, what's changed so far?
just getting my priorities in check, dude. Like, I've been like head down, just fucking in here every day, all day, 10, 12 hours. Not that anybody gives two rips, but
Yeah.
I've been preparing for this moment where what I've been able to build since, let's call it August of last year,
Mhm.
I can reap that and be able to take a little bit of time off and kind of take a back seat and not be as hands on. Of course, everybody's going to be taken care of that I work with, but like I can kind of take a step back and let what I've built over this time period just like work
Mm.
for itself. So just really trying to get my priorities straight. I know that my life is going to change dramatically in like the best way ever.
Mm.
We've both been looking forward to this time and we're ready, man. I think we played it perfect. We dated for 3, 4 years. We've been married for coming up on 4 years and now we're about to start
Mm.
a family. So we've really gotten to get to
Wow.
know each other and, we still date each other even though we're
Yeah.
married. And now we're ready to bring that next member to the family in and just be the parents that we know we can be, which is great parents.
That's beautiful, dude. Do you guys have a gender?
Yeah, we're having a boy.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, we're fucking
Leave it
stoked,
to you to
dude.
bring, yeah, to raise a good man in this world, bro. Like I think that's awesome. Yeah, man. I appreciate the work you're doing, because like we say mentors, but like I mean you're a mentor as well, dude. Just the shit that I mean, I think you're probably a mentor to a lot more people than you think, right? Like, I know that is kind of exactly your job, but also like, the stuff that you post, it resonates. It's beautiful, and you said the vulnerability, man. Just the fact that you're going through it and about to go through a whole other stage, which I know is going to be expressed through your work, as well, and you're going to come back with so much more to teach after
Yeah.
these
Well,
next couple of roles.
it's funny you bring that up. We had a group call with the guys yesterday, and I was like, man, they were asking about, pregnancy and stuff. I was like, I can't wait to have this baby because I'm pretty sure that's when I'm supposed to get comfortable, fat, and out of shape and lazy. Like, I can't wait
Yeah.
for that to actually take place. Apparently, it's a thing, like asking for help. So we'll see if I can maintain my level of fitness and
Yeah.
discipline. But I think you and I both already know the answer to that. I just
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
joke about it. So,
Totally.
yeah, yeah.
Totally. That's fucking awesome, man. Well, dude, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate the work you're doing. Thanks for having me on again. It's just good to just talk, get shit out. Hopefully it resonates with people and people
It
get some
will,
shit out
dude.
of it. And
It will. The show's a lot bigger than what it was 2 years ago, and your episode was great last time. This one I think is even better. I'm not sure how we topped it, but two decent guys get on the air, and it'll resonate with a lot of people. I have absolutely zero doubts about it.
that's
Where
awesome.
can people find you? So, well, like, will you work with like maybe somebody that comes to you with like a brand idea, like, hey, we want to start this. What the fuck? Like, people want to start businesses all the
Yeah.
time. Will you like take that call and like help them? Okay, because
Yeah,
I have a lot
absolutely.
of. Okay, that's great news because I know a lot of people that are kind of in that boat where they're like, hey, I got this idea I want to start, but I have no idea what the fuck to do.
Totally. Like we're consulting for that, like absolutely. And I'll be honest with a lot with everybody too. It's like either A, I've done that and can help, B, I've never done that but can help. C, we can figure this all out together if you want to roll with me, like cool. Like I'm not trying to I just want to build cool shit with cool people. And then you're almost like it's how much capacity of our brain power do you want? It's like, hey, can I pick your brain? I have this idea. I want to start a product. Great, cool. What is it? I have a service base. Yeah, or just an idea. Like, hey, man, I want to start writing these things. I want to start doing this on social media. Like, if people feel compelled from what they've heard or see, and they think that we can help, yeah, we're always down to take calls and
Bro, I got
yeah,
clients for you.
amazing. I appreciate that.
I got some. I'll throw them your way. That's great. Where can people find you with passive and your personal page and things like that?
Yeah, personal everything's just at Kaleb Fossum, KalebFossum, and then passive our yeah. So there's gonna be two sides to it. Our service side, which is like for clients and stuff, is passive renovations. We love the idea of like renovating, taking what exists and elevating it. So passive renovations is our service page, and then keep it passive. We don't have anything on there yet, but we were just talking last night actually. We're gonna start building out our brand side, which would essentially just be like our vision boards, our like little newsletters of just like our passive lifestyle, essentially just what inspires us, what we're looking at, what we're doing. So keep it passive, and eventually some cool merch that Nikki's fashion sense is next level. So we'll hopefully be dropping some merch here within the next year, and keep that pretty consistent. So yeah, there's two sides of the business, but passive renovations and then keep it passive if you feel compelled to follow the actual brand side as we grow.
Dope. I appreciate it, man. Selfishly, I needed a nice conversation like this. So thank you for coming on. Stay on the line. We'll small
Yeah,
talk and then I'll get
bet.
you out of here, brother.
Much love, dude. The pleasure was mine, dude. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.